here.
See, I was thinking about playing it on story mode, but I'm not an achievement hunter. But I do like them when they pop, and especially when it's narrative-driven ones. So, like, when you complete a particular chapter, you'll pop that trophies. Now, if you play them on harder difficulties, it'll usually pop the previous... So if I'm playing it on hard, it usually pops hard, medium, and easy. And so you can get, like, 3 sets of trophies in one. But, yeah, I like playing story-driven games at a harder difficulty anyway. Just... if I'm playing through the game, I want to be challenged, kind of thing.
I see. I think the story on this was good enough for me to not need that in terms of I wanted to kind of linger and spend time looking around, and I just didn't have the time. I didn't want to invest too much time into it, so I wanted to get through the story. I suppose it's kind of bad in some essences. I wanted to play the game, I wanted to fully enjoy the story, but I didn't want to have to go, fuck, I'm going to have to die and retry that again. I'm going to have to die and retry that again. I just thought, do you know what, I'm going to kick your fucking ass first time. I think I pretty much did beat everything first time. Maybe a few dodgy jumps where I fell off a ledge or whatever. But it meant that I had the time to stop and like fully take in all the...
I have died a few times, I'm not going to lie. There was one bit right at the very beginning where you're on the train, and there's like the spinning grid that you have to use the force to stop it so you can climb up it, and you have the stormtroopers constantly falling through that, and he's trying to teach you the buttons at the same time, but he doesn't tell you when to press them. So as I'm trying to figure out my whole timing set, especially with the difficulty that I'm playing on, I did die a few times in that, but now I've got used to it. It's like dead easy.
That by the way is the also the intro to the EastEnders theme tune.
I'm buzzing for it. It's literally like I said then I was talking to just as it started. He sent me a friend request. It looks like the middle of January. I just haven't turned my PlayStation on. I haven't needed to turn my PlayStation on, so I turned it on, accepted it, and he messaged me. I was like, yeah, I'm just about to start playing Star Wars, but I literally haven't turned my PlayStation on. I've no need to. I've just been playing PES 6 on my PC. Or I did start Halo. Well, I did start Halo about 2 or 3 weeks ago, playing that on hard difficulty, and fuck me, that is difficult. You just get shot out of anywhere. If someone shoots you with a sniper rifle, that's it, one shot, you're dead. I've been getting pissed at that, but it's an achievement, isn't it, when you finish it? It's nice.
That's what Ad's just said in the chat. Dying over and over it isn't fun, but finally beating that part makes it better. It's not that it wouldn't have been fun, it's just the you're playing it on hard difficulty will take you longer than playing it on easy difficulty, and I wanted to get through it because I've got so many games that I will never play. And by default, Star Wars is my game of the year last year because it's pretty much the only game that came out last year that I played and finished. Although I did actually really, really enjoy it. The ending as well was really good. Like I was saying, it does get tedious, but I do feel the end is worth the tediousness. It's not tedious if you enjoy the combat and stuff like that. Maybe it might be less tedious if you play it with a bit more of a challenge like you are. Because as you're playing through, you get stims, so you can press up on your D-pad to heal yourself, kind of thing. And I hardly ever needed to really use more than one of them before I got to the next sort of like rest point or something like that. So yeah, maybe it wouldn't have been as tedious if it was a bit more of a challenge, but I also just wanted to get through it as well.
Yeah. Swings and roundabouts. Next Gen Renegade says the bosses will be killer on hard. Good luck. It's a boss battle for a reason. I want to be challenged. But yeah, usually I end up going to a boss battle without knowing a particular button set, so I'll just end up doing the same thing over and over and over again. But I was trying to defend against the first boss that I came up against, and my stamina just drained so fast. So I'll be able to block once, and then they'd hit me 2 or 3 times. I was just like, fucking hell, it just nearly melted me. Yeah, that's the first boss.
Yeah, see, I not so much the bosses, but when you get like the mid-level bosses, like as you get a bit further into it, I've got a little tuft on my head. Look at my tuft. As you get further into it, you get like obviously your standard grunts, but then you get like a more powerful one as you're going through the level. And I got to the point where I was like, look, I'm not even going to kill these guys. I'm just going to keep pushing everyone off ledges because I've got force abilities now. It's going to be like, get out of here. I played through on normal, but I had to resort to putting it down to story mode to finish the last boss. Must have tried about 40 plus times, and enough was enough. I'm trying to remember.
I remember him actually telling me that in the brew room, and I completely forgot about that before I set the difficulty. So
you can do it on as you go in though. Yeah. You can do it on the flight. I remember it saying that. That's why I thought I'll just leave it on that. But then I was enjoying checking out surroundings and stuff, and quite often I just find myself, do you know, it's because I've got a bit of time to spare. I can just see if I can make this jump. No, I can't. Let me try again. No, I can't. Okay, well, we'll go somewhere else. Anyway, let's go back to front cam. So that's a little bit of chat about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. If you've just joined in the chat, please feel free to say hello. This is The Scoop. We are Ice Cream, and that's kind of why it's named that way. And we bring you your daily dose of news from the games industry and beyond, each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. We give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest breaking news, and we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. And that's important. If you are here live on Twitch, feel free to get involved in the chat, because we turn this into a video podcast, a standalone on-demand podcast that we upload to YouTube, where you can watch it. If you missed the start, if you want to see the Star Wars chat again, you want to hear Baby doing the Star Wars version of the EastEnders theme tune, then feel free to check out youtube.com/Ice Cream Uploads. The full video podcast will be available on demand there. And for audio podcasts too, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, all of those get access to the content on demand, but they don't get to interact with us live within the chat. If you're live here now, feel free to get involved on their behalf. And if you're watching this on YouTube now, then and if you're watching us on, listening to us on all the audio bits, then I'm not going to wave, because I've just done that, but I'm waving now. Wave. Hi, how you doing? Hi.
You're right, hen.
Hey.
You're right, hen.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah. Much love to ads in the chat, exclamation mark socials, dropping the links there. So if you want to find our Twitters, Facebooks, Instas and YouTubes, all of the links are there in the chat. Well, pro tip, just tap in Ice Cream Uploads and you can find it everywhere, because that's the name. Anyway, jumping into our first bit of news of the day. I mean, I would tell you about what I played on the weekend, but I think you can probably guess.
Does it begin with P and does it end in UBG?
My answer begins with Y and ends in S.
How are you getting on? Battle Pass ready?
I'm about 35 levels-ish into it. Do you know, let's talk about PUBG for a bit. Let's bring you back in. Come in, trickle in. I'm actually quite enjoying it. The new map, Karakin, is like a 2x2 map, and it completely changes PUBG. To the point where it's actually really, really good or really, really bad, because you just kind of land and there's always someone around. The smallest maps before that have been, I think they've been 4x4, whereas this is only 2x2, obviously. Yeah. So that's squashed down, but the main maps are like 8x8, so this is tiny in comparison. Or is it 16? Whatever. Big. But this one's tiny, and there's people everywhere, pretty much, and it's kind of like a little desert map with little hills and underground caves and stuff. And long story short, you pretty much have to shoot someone and move. Yeah. It's like playing a team deathmatch Call of Duty, but because there's everyone in such a small area, and you've got like rockets falling from the sky, blowing buildings up, and then usually what happens, because there's so many people, you give your position away by shooting at someone else. You kill someone kills you, they kill them, and it's just kind of like a spiral. Yeah, kind of. If you're lucky enough to break the spiral, then you survive until the next sort of engagement. And I've not won a single game on the new map. I've had a bunch of seconds, thirds, fourths, or whatever. But it's either all or nothing. You either go all the way and get fully kitted out, or you land and you just get melted because there's 16 people around you. Which is good and bad. It's good because you think, yeah, warming up, it's really good. But it's also bad because it's like, fuck, I can't do anything.
Yeah, the turnaround time in the game must be pretty decent then.
It's I feel like 15 minutes max kind of thing.
So that's pretty good. I like that. Because PUBG for me seems to last forever while you're in there. So it's like if you get to the last circle, you're looking at like half an hour.
Like 35 minutes on a big map, 25 minutes on Sanhok and Vikendi, which has been removed, and then like 15 minutes for this. So you got
they took maps out.
They took Vikendi out, the snow map, and put Karakin in. And whilst Vikendi's off, they're going to do like upgrades and enhancements to it, because they had Miramar, the first map, which then got like Miramar 2.0 fully upgraded. Then they had Erangel, should I say. Then they did Miramar, which they just added more stuff to the maps. Then they added Sanhok, the jungle map, and then Vikendi. Vikendi has the most complaints because it's just like little compounds and you get people camping and crap. So they've taken that away to fix that, put more time in it. But the gist of it is you've got tiny map that's 15 minutes run and gun, mid map, which is nice, and then you've got the bigger maps, which where you can play longer games, but also on the bigger maps they now have the gliders as well, so you can just think, fuck it, I'm not even playing for the win, I'm just going to get a few fuel cans and then do some like drive-bys like from 200 feet up. So yeah, it adds a bit of variety, so you go in and you think, yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that. I mean, you still get like RNG triggered like you would in any game. So after a while you think, oh fuck this shit, I'm running around with like an actual spatula, and this guy's got like a fucking TIE fighter strapped to his back, and I'm there going and it's melting me. So sometimes you do get triggered to the point where you turn it off, but the fact that there's more to it means you can go all guns blazing, or slow game, or not even play for the win, just play for the memes flying around in your gliders and popping people, which managed to do.
Well, for the smaller map, then I might give that one a go. I've still got it, believe it or not, installed on my PC. So it could be that I actually try it again in the smaller map, because I feel like if I am gonna... the long games...
I think the smaller map was probably... You kind of need to go in with your eyes open in the fact that you are going to get killed.
Oh, yeah, I understand that, but the quicker turnaround will make that less
you get used
annoying.
to the gunplay.
Yeah.
It's like as well, so you go in and you will probably lose your first 10 fights, especially playing on PC, such a high skill set ceiling, and the fact that everyone's played it for like 3-4 years now. Well, longer than that if they've been playing from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Anyway, the fact that they'll go in, they'll know the map and how it works and whatever, but... The good thing with that is you can just get into fights really quickly. So that's what I didn't like. Like, they didn't have a training mode when the game first started. So
I'm just looking at the wall, and for some reason you can see the bar ticking at the bottom. It doesn't usually do that. I've just got rid of it.
There we go. On the first map, there was when it first came out, there was no way to train. So the only way you could train was to drop in and fight, which was not too bad on PC because you could drop in and fight within a couple of minutes. But on console, you drop in and it loads forever, and it draws a lot, and everything has to spawn in then because you're playing on like blah, blah. So. But yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do that, and then get used to the gunplay in it. And then once you get the gunplay nailed, I remember first playing it going, I just don't like it. It just don't feel like... It just doesn't feel... Whoa. Number one, Pirates. Thank you very much for the subscription. Tier 1 sub. First thing on a Monday morning. That is how we start the week. Much love.
He's dropped the old hello, so I'll give you one of them, mate.
Yeah.
Do you remember what we're doing on Friday?
This Friday?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It involves being in the studio. Would you like me to write it down for you so I could potentially talk about it now, so it's like a Scoop exclusive?
Yes, go on then. I don't know.
Oh, my notepad's working again, thank God for that.
But yes, good morning, Pirate. How are the whispers coming on? For those of you that don't know, Pirate is a very lovely guy, and we were chatting about whispers weeks back on the Scoop, so I sent him a pack of whispers the other day. That's the joys you get for being a regular in the ice cream streams.
How's your neck as well, because he's got a...
I thought you were actually asking about mine because my neck is actually aching. It's been all weekend. I was like, did I tell him?
Hey, there you go. You remember that, don't you?
Yes.
I don't know at what point on Friday we're going to be able to do it, but I feel like now we've got an audience here, we can kind of record our advert to go onto Twitch, to go onto Twitter at the same time.
As in right now?
As in like right now with everybody else. So do you want me to lead into it, because I've got in my head what I think we need to do.
Go on then. Woo! I'll react.
Right, so just a quick briefing. Obviously we've got the Ice Cream Uploads Invitational happening at some point. I say at some point, we already know the date. It's the 28th of February. Now we've got 3 more teams left to announce. We've got 2 in the bag, which are going to be announced hopefully within the next day or 2. I just need to make sure that we've got all the correct pictures, and we've got 1 more team to announce hopefully by the end of the week. But it doesn't matter if it do get announced by the end of the week, because come Friday, I mean, this is just like me talking to you guys now. We're going to do the advert in a minute, but this Friday we are going to be doing the live draw in the studio, live on Twitch. I don't know what time though, because we've obviously got the Scoop in the morning. Chances are it's probably going to be me and Luke doing it. The Scoop on Friday, innit?
Maybe.
So it's going to be early afternoon. I mean, we can confirm this, which is why you need to follow us on our socials to be able to find out when this is going to be going live. But it will be going live on Friday, with the draw of who's going to be playing who in each group. So for those of you that aren't familiar with this so far, we're going to have 2 groups of 4. And then the top 2 will go into a semi-final and then a final eventually.
So 2 groups of 4.
Yep.
And then the top 2 go off.
Yeah.
And then they play to see the ones who compete to be the last 2 to just get down to 1 more.
That's it.
Nice.
That's it, mate. So now you're briefed. It's a live exclusive, obviously, on the Scoop. This is why you need to watch this every single day, because you never know what's going to be on. You know you got video game news, but do you get a competition in esports news? Only when we provide it. Do you know what I mean?
Quite nervous.
So
I wasn't ready for this.
Shall we do the advert? I feel like this is perfect time. I mean, this could be an advert to say why aren't you watching the Scoop, and then this is why you should be watching the Scoop. But you're also getting information about the stuff that we're doing.
Yeah, we're not even started speaking about news. This is amazing.
Exactly. Right, so
Go on, babe.
no one wanted me on their team. I mean, blame the team captains, mate. All we do is just send out the invites. It's up for them to go and find the potential players. Pirate said that you weren't good enough anyway, so...
Ooh.
Here we go. Good morning, guys. This is going live on The Scoop. Everyone in the Twitch chat knows about what we're about to say, but you're not in the chat, so you don't know what we're going to say. But if you do know, we are putting our own competition on called the Ice Cream Invitational. It's our third one. It's a triple threat. So we will be doing a live draw on Friday after The Scoop. We're not sure what time yet, but we will be doing a live draw considering we have 4 sets of competitors. They'll be going into 2 groups of 4. We'll be doing a semi-final and a final, but we don't know who's going to be playing who, what group's going to be in. Don't forget, we've still got 3 teams left to announce, 2 of which we'll hopefully be announcing in the next 2 or 3 days.
Some pretty tasty teams in the bag already. You know of some of them. Ooh, there's some tasty stuff to come as well. Some tasty stuff.
Any team that's going to be playing each other in the group is going to be a tasty game as it stands. This time, though, we're giving the opportunity for the players to be able to play more than one game before getting eliminated. So, I mean, the team captains that we've got so far, which is 5 teams, we've got another 3 left to go. And believe me, the 2 that we've got set aside already. Woohoo!
So, if you are a team captain and you want to know who you're playing against, well, make sure you follow our channels. You will find all the news as the week goes on. But if you are a team captain, by the time we get to the Friday, you will already know who the other teams are, but you don't know who you're going to play against. That's what the live draw is about, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see it live on twitch.tv/icecreamuploads.
Stay tuned to our socials to find out when on Friday it's going to be going live. It most likely will be in the afternoon. But, guys, the only way you can find this information out is by following us on our socials and being in the Scoop live 10 a.m. on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. There you go. Hey guys, we're breaking the fourth wall here. Do you know what I mean? Like you lot are getting treated to this. This is all free. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean? There's only 3 walls. 2 and 3. God.
Oh, is that one over there? Yeah.
Right, so I need to take that out after the Scoop and then put it live later on.
Yeah.
That's easy. You know what I mean?
There you go.
It's content within content. It's perfect. Right, I need to go and turn that off because it's starting to get really warm.
It's
in
roasting.
It was freezing this morning.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll jump into the first piece of news then. So, good morning, you absolute bunch of heathens, says Precision. That bastard, and my own team says, adds players. Precision, you bastard. There's lots of bastards in the chat. It's snowing like a bastard up here. Oh, bastard. Anyway.
Who is this little man?
Who is this little man? Anyway, jumping into the first bit of news today. It's taken a little bit of time because, you know, we just like to have a chat and we've teed up the invitational. But now we have the little man in the chat. We can get involved in the first piece of action. And mobile is now Activision's biggest platform, thanks to Call of Duty Mobile and more spin-offs to follow. This is written by Sherif Saed for VG247. And I'm going to burp, excuse me. Call of Duty Mobile helped bring millions of new people to the franchise and turn the platform into Activision's biggest. Call of Duty Mobile is, of course, a free-to-play game available on smartphones, which means the barrier to entry is significantly lower compared to the premium console/PC Call of Duty games. Nonetheless, Activision revealed in its earnings call for Q4 of fiscal year 2019 that the Call of Duty player base has gone from 40 to 100 million following the launch of mobile. As a result of this, mobile is now the company's leading platform. Not much of Call of Duty's mobile revenue was represented in the Q4's earnings, but Activision is banking on the game's long-term success in monetizing those millions of players and the many others who will join in 2020 and beyond. The publisher also sees an opportunity to sell in-game ads, a standard tactic with free-to-play games, but it is yet to roll those out in a major way. The popularity of the Call of Duty Mobile worldwide allows advertisers access to demographics that would otherwise be harder to reach. Thanks to this success, Activision has realised there's gold in them mobile hills. The company is already working on high-quality mobile games for all of our most important franchises. Not necessarily surprising. Maybe we just hit play on the trailer while we talk through this. So not surprising, mobile games are massive. We've kind of known that for a while. I mean, I always kind of...
Graphically, it looks great, doesn't it?
I meant... it was Connor. Connor was watching someone stream it, and someone was obviously playing mobile on PC, which I always find bizarre. But it just looked class, and I was thinking, because instantly I'm an angry, aggressive old man, and I don't like change. I mean, I do really, but I like my gaming to be on my console. That has progressed to, and I like my gaming to be on my console and my PC. I don't like to play on my mobile because I don't. A mobile isn't a form that has been designed for gaming. A mobile is entertainment / communication on the go. However, the ability to take quality games with you, and like we can see there, Az has just said Nuketown in the chat, being able to play Nuketown or Shipment or Crash, all the maps that you're aware of, or Blackout as you're seeing there, being able to play that at that quality on the go is class. I mean, I will stick with my point that form factor for me needs to improve, but clearly I'm just an angry old man that doesn't get it, because 40 million players jump into 100 million. That's doubling what you've got and then adding another half on top of it. That's incredible. And this is Call of Duty. It's not like Temtem, which is doing well, but still has probably 40,000 player base or whatever. This is Call of Duty that's been making games for 15 years. And they've all been showstoppers and main event games all the way through those 15 years, and they've just more than doubled their player base by releasing one mobile game.
And what I need, like, I played it on my tablet and I played it on my phone, and I'm terrible at mobile games purely because of the size of my fat fingers. Like, they just don't translate well to playing games on mobile. It's comfortable in my hand, however, I like tactile buttons. I don't like these. I'm not sorry about that. That was my Slack going off. I don't like these floaty analog sticks or whatever it is that's on there. If I could sync up my PlayStation 4 controller or something like that to be able to play it, I'd probably play these a lot more. I'd probably play PUBG quite a lot more on my phone, because we've obviously played PUBG Mobile quite a bit, and it's decent. However, when you're playing against bots or whatever, everything's fucking easy. But if you get into a decent gunfight, the chances are you're probably going to get absolutely smashed.
Yeah, I mean, like, seeing how far they can go, though. I mean, Call of Duty Mobile has started to push into esports. Not Call of Duty, PUBG Mobile has started to push into esports. Absolutely no doubt that Call of Duty is going to go the same sort of way. I wonder if Call of Duty is actually overtaken PUBG now in terms of games, in terms of mobile games and installs and active users and so on, because PUBG Mobile was massive. I always thought, well, Fortnite's bigger, so Fortnite's going to be big, but no, PUBG Mobile was and I assume still is, much bigger than Fortnite.
Well, they've got the esports aspects of it, but they've also got with the Fortnite one, it's more or less just 1v1 stuff in it, and I imagine on mobile, I don't think there's that many people that are teaming up or doing duos or potentially team play on the mobile side of Fortnite. However, with the PUBG having a dedicated esports, it's a lot more entertaining. Is it entertaining? Like, you want to entertain the idea of potentially playing at a decent enough level as a team in PUBG, because they've got an esports element behind it, rather than the Fortnite stuff, because Fortnite doesn't have that much of an esports following as it stands. They have the 2 or 3 big competitions a year, but that's pretty much it, isn't it?
That's kind of like, it's kind of a weird way to say it. Me and Connor were having a chat about this, I think, on stream last year. Like, Fortnite has successful esports because Fortnite is successful. Success breeds success. But the Fortnite World Cup kind of thing just didn't really go as far as, like, looking at what CSGO has been doing, and even the CDL this last few weeks. I mean, was it this weekend Royal Ravens were hosting in CDL? I can't remember. Anyway, there was the Call of Duty events. That gets media coverage, that gets airtime, that gets eyes on, and the Call of Duty World Cup stuff did at the World Cup. It didn't really lead up to it, and then after it, it's kind of dropped off. There are events within the game and stuff, but yeah, that definitely does transition.
Yeah, if you're having multiple competitions, like, you watch obviously the PUBG ones way more than I do, but they seem to have an event maybe at least once a month, like a big event, not like a little small regional one, like quite a big global series.
Although just this morning, let's hot breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Coronavirus has led to PGS PUBG Global Showdown Berlin being cancelled. Obviously,
interesting.
Players from all around the world. Obviously, there'll be Chinese, Korean, and obviously the Eastern countries are being more impacted by the coronavirus. So they just said, okay, we can't. There's no way that we can get players from potentially hazardous region and put them into an arena full of 30,000 people or whatever. So, I mean, as you'd expect, PGS Berlin just being shelved for the foreseeable.
Yeah, well, I did read something. Now, I don't know how accurate it is, otherwise I would have been able to put it in here, but it was something that I read on Friday saying that potentially the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox are potentially going to be delayed due to the coronavirus and the manufacturing of these consoles. Now, I don't know how accurate it was when I read the article. It just seemed to unnamed source claims, and it's like, well, you could potentially be making that one up, mate, to sell the article, but I mean, it could be affecting everything.
That's the thing, though. Is like it's so possible, but also is it as well at the same time because it's so far away. Nobody really knows. I mean, people do, but the general public doesn't know where your Xbox comes from. I know it comes from Game or Amazon or whatever, or Sainsbury's was where my PlayStation came from, because Game were robbing bastards and wouldn't let me buy one less than 10,000. But anyway, so nobody really knows. But there was a stat that it's like 98% of all American PS4s and Xboxes are shipped in from China. Actually, let me backtrack. It might have been Japan. I'm fairly sure it was China. But 98%. So then you go, okay, well, I know 98% are coming from there. Didn't know that. So if you say there's germs over there and that's where they come from, then you could be right.
Yeah. They're being shipped around the world, not just to obviously America, but that virus, it's just like this is like living in a Resident Evil / 28 days later kind of scenario.
Genuinely, that because I thought, what was it? I don't know if it was 28 days later. I don't know if it's within that, but there's one of them where it kind of says it started out with just like, I think it is 28 days later. I actually started watching it about a month ago. It was on TV. And the quality of that film, like, I mean, it's a really good film. It's aged well in that sort of sense, but the actual visual quality of the film, it was recorded on a Nokia N-Gage. And the reason I said Nokia N-Gage is because David's in the chat and he says, I think Sonic N is the best mobile game mainly because it's the only N-Gage game I completed. 7 cases in the UK now. What, of Nokia N-Gage? No, there was only 3 people that bought it, and one of them is in the chat.
But yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Just a very small thing like that being spread by something so...
Have you seen the film?
It's weird.
Have you seen the film Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman? It was like 95 or something like that. I don't know, some old film, and it shows you it's like some dude gets bit by a monkey somewhere and then travels back to America, and he's just sat there. He's like getting a bit of a fever or whatever. Sat there in the theater and he's going in the cinema, and you just see all these germ particles. And basically, it's going, that guy's just infected the whole cinema. They all bugger off home to their different work bits, and it just goes. And I'm sat there thinking, fuck.
It's just so easy to be able to pass something like that on, isn't it? Which is obviously why it's managed to be I don't want to say a global phenomenon, but globally it spread so fast. It's a couple of people on a plane have come back from Singapore to the United Kingdom, and then that's it then. Them 2 people have come into contact with their families have gone to work, their colleagues have gone back home to their families.
That Singapore dude, like, he went on holiday with his family. They all stayed in a chalet kind of thingy, and all of them are infected now. And it's just like, if he just didn't, like, it's all right going on holiday or whatever, but no, it's not. I mean, what if they jump on a plane back? Everyone in that flying tube.
Exactly, yeah. It's mental, like, how fast it can all spread.
Anyway, enough of the Germans.
This isn't Sky News. This is Scoop News.
I absolutely hated Nuketown. They remade it 60 times already, and it's horrible. Do you know what? I half agree with that. I loved Nuketown. Playing first Black Ops, absolutely loved it. That Nuketown was one of my favourite games on all of Call of Duty. Is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Shipment, where you've got just a bunch of containers in a box, and it's pretty much spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, kill, spawn die, and it's kind of that. And Nuketown was the same sort of mentality where you've got 2 houses and you're pretty much just insta death a million times. But yeah, I hated the fact that they was like, oh, this is Nuketown, but like in a futuristic setting, and it's like you've done it, and it was creative and it was good, but just forget that now. You redo it once or bring it back once, but don't do it
every single game.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, people lap that shit up though, don't they? Like, if you put it as a pre-order incentive, fairly confident that people are just going to go and buy it just to be able to play on that map again. The airport map was so much better than Nuketown. I agree.
Fucking. You get a full squad just sat inside the plane, like, one grenade. Get out of here, motherfuckers. Remember I said the console, the PS4 was the console of remakes? Absolutely! And all 27,000 of them were Nuketown. Even the content is remade. It's. I mean, I get it from a marketing perspective. Everyone looks back at the games they played previously with rose-tinted glasses, and the majority of them, if you touch them again, will be shit.
Yeah. The Getaway.
But giving people that little bit of rose tint is enough of a hook to get the money in the job. So that's why you see the same stuff over again. So I get it, but once, do not. I don't need Nuketown 27. Hey, jog on, mate. Anyway, back to mobile gaming, as we were saying. Call of Duty Mobile is Activision's biggest earner out of all of the games that they've got. PUBG obviously is in there in amongst. So if you are a developer and if you want to find a way into the future, we all know mobile has a big part to play in the future. All the streaming services, xCloud, Google Stadia, GeForce Now, all of them are all looking at allowing you to play on a mobile device. So
with a controller, I might add.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, none of that.
Yeah.
Claw screen thing. I mean,
you can't even boot xCloud up without having a controller attached via Bluetooth, which again is sound. If I can get a clip and I can play these quality games on my mobile with a controller, then I'm down.
So yeah, I would like to see more games branching out and taking it seriously, because a lot of game developers outside, I mean, if you take those three away, Fortnite, PUBG, and now Call of Duty. Obviously there are others, but let's water it down to being those three. You don't see any of the games that sit in the top 10s of console and PC games really taking mobile content seriously. Not to that level. There may be a few others, but
they're usually MMOs and what the hell, like things like Dota and League of Legends and things like that. MOBA, that's it. Jesus Christ, I forgot the game. They tend to be quite popular on mobile games too. But as like you said, if it was first like proper, I don't say proper games, fuck me, digging myself a massive hole there. But if you was to get games that were available on console and then get ported to a mobile, they don't tend to be as popular, shall we say.
But then again, there was no FPS or BR games that were popular on mobiles until they actually put them on. So is it a case of they're not popular, or is it a case of there's no demand because there has never been a supply?
Well, you had things like Shadowgun and what's that racing game, Alpha Assault or whatever it's called. That seems to be on absolutely everything. If you was to report Need for Speed onto a mobile, is it going to be Alpha Assault or whatever it's called?
Yeah, the thing there though is Need for Speed can't even ship consoles. And when you said Shadowgun, I smiled because I thought, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Shadowgun was actually a really good game. I don't even know. I'm sure they had an esport of it as well.
But the point more being, I mean, Shadowgun. I mean, I'd like to see something like a Need for Speed there because it's a different option. But so what was it? PES 20. PES 20 is the game of remake. Same old agents again this week. But there you go. Like a PES game, a mobile game. We have PES Mobile, but I want the full experience on mobile. I want Master League. I want Become a Legend. I want to be able to do that sort of stuff on mobile. If I can do a 100-person battle royale with season pass and stuff on mobile, then I should be able to just do a Master League as well. Yes, I guarantee that's a bit different in terms of the database for all the players and things like that. Blah, blah, blah. I get it. But if you can get 100 different connections on a mobile server with the game and stuff like that, then having a career mode element, then that's got to be possible. So yeah, I'd like to see sports games traveling over. I'd like to see more story games and things like that. Jedi Fallen Order. You're not going to get the visuals to that extent, but if you can get Call of Duty looking that good, then you should be able to map that to that level on a mobile.
The Call of Duty trailers that we're just seeing then just look like PS3 and Xbox 360 graphics, which are by no means shit.
No.
A lot of the games especially towards the end of that life cycle, were fantastic looking. Like, they was on par with the original at the very beginning of the PS4 and the Xbox One. There wasn't that much difference between the graphics until obviously the developers got used to using the developer tools to be able to make them look and push the PlayStation and the Xbox to the limits. But in that very short overlap kind of thing, that looks really good. You wouldn't if you've seen that trailer, you wouldn't expect that to be a mobile game.
So yeah, that's the thing. Is like, I think people are a lot more forgiving now with mobile in terms of, like, I know I'm not going to get Jedi Fallen Order looking like Jedi Fallen Order on a mobile game. Just like I'm not going to get like full HD textures from PUBG on a PC on a mobile game.
Yeah.
Instead, you get it looks kind of like. Throw words out for Bibby here. It looks kind of like Radical Heights did in terms of the walls don't have as much texture and everything looks a bit Play-Doh-ish.
Does it look like the light version of PUBG though that you can get on PC?
It looks a bit less than that kind of thing, but you expect it kind of thing in terms of the wall might be a static colour or the floor might have a little bit of smudging, like PS2, PS1 level kind of thing. But you think, okay, I'm happy enough to forgive. That as long as I get the functions, as long as it plays well, and then I will build the rest of the world in with my mind, with my what's the word I'm looking for? Imagination. That's the word. So my imagination will fill in the blanks. You give me a box and stick a door in it. It's a house. That's it. It's fine. I mean, obviously it looks more than that, but the fact that mobile games themselves are pushing the boundaries as far as they can get, whilst obviously cutting corners on textures and things to include increase loading times and reduce server strains and that. Yeah.
See, that's my understanding with most games, which is why I still end up going back and playing quote-unquote shit games. Because as long as the gameplay's there, I'm not asked what it looks like. If the gameplay's tight, the story's good, then I'll play the game. I'm not asked about how graphically amazing it is, especially for a PS1 or a PS2 game, because they're the games that I tend to go back and play the most.
Right, we watched you playing PS6 on Friday night, so there you go.
Graphically, phenomenal still. And I got beat by Degs twice. I'm not going to talk about the Master League stuff. Like, in my time streaming, I've had some pretty bad streams, but in terms of...
Did you win? How many games did you win?
None. I played probably 15 games, including Master League and online, and I lost or drew every single one of them. Like, I didn't get one win. Like, in terms of me streaming, that's probably, content-wise, the worst. Like, I give absolutely no one any kind of... what do you call it? Any kind of incentive to watch me, because I ain't fucking winning again.
No, you did, because everyone's like, yeah, we be out here racking up the dubs, and Bibby's like, do you know what? We've got such a committed community. People throwing down. We've had a subscription in the chat a minute ago. We get follows and people dropping bits and whatever. So Bibby's like, do you know what? Here's a W for you. It's like the Oprah gif. You get a win. You get a win. Everybody gets wins.
It was just so bad. Like, that's what, concept wise, it was probably the worst. Like, I went downstairs. Like, I was like, right, I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'm gonna go downstairs. And I'll come back up and stream in like half an hour's time after I had something to eat. I got a beer and my mates was downstairs. Like, the highlight of the stream was shitting my mate up with the Borderlands mask.
I was about to say that.
That was the highlight of the stream. But as soon as I went downstairs, it was just like, just get a beer. And I was like, okay. And then I just sat there. I was like, I'm not fucking streaming again now. Like, there's no way I'm going back online and giving everybody else a W.
So that's the first time I've known someone rage quit a stream.
Yeah, literally, like, the whole fucking thing went off. I was like, oh, Mitrovic. Can't believe it.
Anyway, let's go off of that one and let's go into something else that looks like it might not return. And this is a news article written by PCGamer.com by Jody Macgregor. And OtherSide Entertainment layoffs leave the future of System Shock 3 in doubt. And if you are like me, you will have no idea what System Shock is. I have not. I didn't even know this was a thing. Genuinely, System Shock 3? I was like, I didn't even know what there was a 1 or a 2. But anyway, I may do. I've not read through this yet. I may as a read through, but I'm not sure I do. Anyway, the follow-up to the immersive sim classic was first announced in late 2015. Back in 2017, Starbreeze Studios agreed to publish OtherSide Entertainment's System Shock 3. Less than 2 years later, Starbreeze sold the publishing rights back to OtherSide after the failure of Overkill's The Walking Dead. OtherSide's Warren Spector said they were looking for a publishing and funding partner, but would self-publish System Shock 3 as a last resort. As yet, no publisher has publicly stepped forward to take on the game. As VGC reports, design director Chase Jones left OtherSide last week, joining other key staff, including System Shock 3's writer and director, senior designer and lead programmer, QA lead, senior environment artist, and more, who have all either left or been laid off. A thread at the OtherSide forum has been cataloguing layoffs among the staff since June. Posting under the name Kim Korn Khan, that was well easy to read when your mouth's dry and you need a drink. At the RPG Codex forum, a former OtherSide developer responded to a question about whether System Shock 3 has been abandoned by saying, "I don't actually know what's going on, but the team is no longer employed there." They also explained that most of the work is content development, which we were critically behind in, both in real assets and in tool support for an efficient pipeline. Was the future of the project right? Was the failure of the project right even? It's hard to say. If Starbreeze hadn't gone into crisis, I think we would have delivered something interesting with some fresh and innovative gameplay, but a much smaller game than what people were expecting, and inevitably disappointing for a sequel to such a beloved franchise. Those high expectations drove a lot of expensive experimentation. We were a small team and knew we couldn't compete with current immersive sims in production and, quality and breadth, so we had to be creative and clever and weird. Bit like me. And we were on our way to make something unique and possibly fun, but probably not what the audience was hungry for. In September last year, we saw a pre-alpha teaser of System Shock 3, which reintroduced the series' iconic villain, Shodan. It sure did look promising at the time, and then the final line, we reached have a comment and let you know about that, kind of just stops. We reached So yes, System Shock 3. Do you know anything about System Shock, babe?
I do know about System Shock. I ended up getting into I'd never heard of it until probably about 5 years ago, when in my old job I used to sit next to a proper gaming nut when it comes to really old school games, and this was a really old school game on the PC back in the day. The System Shock 1 ended up getting remade, shall we say, or remastered. And you can get that on Steam as well with the second one. The reason why the third one got cast to be remade, or to be made, shall we say, I am 90% sure this was a Kickstarter that eventually ended up getting the funds that they needed to be able to create this game. And unfortunately, it seems like it just seems to have gone down the pan. But it's a survival horror game, no surprise there. Very much like. I don't want to say Alien, because it's the storyline isn't like, it's kind of like a cross between Alien and 2001: A Space Odyssey. So you have a computer that kind of wants to kill you.
It's not very nice.
Which you can keep on seeing pop up there. It's the first one I didn't play that much. The second one I played quite a bit. So it basically is just like a survival horror game but on a spaceship. I was looking forward to the third one coming out, actually, because as you can see from the trailer which got released, it's actually a really good game. It looks like a really good polished game.
I'm getting like, I mean, I could be completely wrong because I've not really played this, but Dead Space-y sort of vibes, that sort of atmospheric.
Yeah, pretty much like that. But I was looking forward to it. I hope that eventually it comes to fruition and we actually get to see this, because I know there is a massive community out there that really, really wants this game to come out at some point.
The iconic franchise returns. It says in that trailer. No, it doesn't, potentially.
That looks great. They can hire me, so that's... yeah, I mean, if you like them kind of games, like I do, then it's kind of the game that you want. You want to be able to shoot shit. You want to be able to see aliens in a sci-fi kind of environment while you're in space. It looks like a good game. It's a shame that it's come to a point where people have been leaving left, right and centre, all been let go. So it doesn't look good for the studio. Maybe we'll see it again in the future, but I'm fairly certain, now you've got it on this screen, I'll Google it, I'm fairly certain it had a Kickstarter. System Shock.
I mean, when you have a publishing partner that's there, essentially the publishers will put money into either paying for development or paying for marketing. Essentially, they put money into the game and take a cut out of the sales, obviously, as you'd expect. But when you have a publisher that's reliant on another game and then that doesn't do well, so it has to pull out, that's essentially, obviously, it's avoidable in terms of you don't go with that publisher if you know the future. But they, Starbreeze sold the publishing rights. So Starbreeze Studios picked up the publishing rights, but then Overkill's The Walking Dead didn't do very well, so they had to give up on that and give it back. That essentially puts everything on a downward spiral. Unless you can get that revenue return really quickly, you've got no way of picking things up. And as you can see, writer and director, senior designer, lead programmer, QA lead, senior environment artist, and more, all been left or laid off. I mean, that's kind of one of those things in terms of they've clearly not had enough plates spinning to allow them to keep all these guys. And when you start losing senior designers, writers, and directors, these are key people in terms of that these decide how the game looks, how the game plays, how the game comes across, all of the content within it. If you lose all of that, then yeah, you're not going anywhere pretty quickly. And from the sounds of this, reading all that, unless they get some big investment very quickly, then I imagine that we're not going to see the next System Shock.
Okay, so doing a little bit of digging, System Shock 3 looks like it was going to be made by the original studio. And there is I got this completely wrong. This is why I wanted to Google it as I was watching the trailer. System Shock is getting re-released. The original one is getting re-released by a new studio, and it's coming to PS4, PC, and Xbox. I think this is the one that did need a Kickstarter, so it needed £900,000, but instead they got £1.3 million by people backing this. It's due to come out this year. And the studio that's redoing it is called Night Dive Studios, which is a completely separate studio. They re-released System Shock 2 back in 2013, but there wasn't part of the original team with the first and second one. So they've got experience in using this game basically. So they wanted to recreate the first one, but in a modern day 2020 kind of graphics.
Be interesting to see if that Kickstarter does well. Will that lead to Night Dive then going, okay, we'll get a Kickstarter and we'll save System Shock 3? Because they've lost half the staff anyway, or more. But the key things there is they didn't have the money for it, they don't have the staff for it, and everything sounded like it was going to be less than what they wanted to deliver as well. So if System Shock remake by Night Dive does well, then potentially we could see System Shock 3 being picked up by those.
Yeah, I'm just going to get the trailer for it, because I remember seeing the trailer for it and it looked amazing. If I can find the trailer, is this it?
The Kickstart trailer.
There we go. Please don't tell me this is just talking heads.
It pretty much will be. Usually Kickstart trailers are that sort of thing. This is us, this is why, this is our dream, this is what we
want. So that's what the first one looked like, way back when.
F11. Oh, press the wrong button. There we go.
Oh, come on. Right, yeah, so this is the remake one of the first one. Oh, it's just drawing shit.
Look like VR.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like the original. It was using a VR headset then. Yeah, so
maybe they're going to incorporate VR elements into System Shock then.
Yeah, but this game is. I think it's going to be huge when it comes out this year. I mean, there we go. You can see a bit more of it now. With how much they've ended up getting out of that, £900,000. It shows that there was a dedicated community there to be able to see this again in a modern day graphic console. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Interesting. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, if you're a fan of System Shock, please feel free to let us know in the chat. I have no idea myself, so I will take any thoughts and impressions from others that may have something to say. Let's Hello. Speaking of hello, jumping to the next bit of news. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. Halo Infinite's new game engine will allow dev to do things that weren't possible before. This technical groundwork is vital to build a platform for the future of Halo. Written by Eddie Makuch for GameSpot, he says, for Halo Infinite, the team at 343 Industries built more than a game. They developed a brand new game engine, Slipspace. Now the studio has spoken a bit more about what the engine allows them to do, and it sounds like a lot. Halo franchise director Frank O'Connor said in a video that the Slipspace engine was designed for next generation game development, and also to be easier to work with. Then into the quote, we had to create an engine that was more powerful for next generation development, but also more nimble, so the creatives and engineers are able to work more easily and iterate faster, he said. This technical groundwork is vital to build a platform for the future of Halo. Engineering director David Berger said in a video that the Slipspace engine allows the team at 343 to do things that were not possible with the previous game-making tools. You have to make tools that allow you to make new features, that allow you to make features that weren't thought about before. You've got to give the content creators room to ideate outside of that, he said. Multiplayer director Tom French, meanwhile, said one of the benefits of the Slipspace engine is that it allows the team to try new things more quickly than before. Designers are more empowered themselves to actually tackle a problem and prototype something quicker and faster than we've ever done before, he said. Interestingly, eagle-eyed fans spotted a reference to a grappling hook in this new behind-the-scenes video. However, O'Connor downplayed the significance of this, saying it's not necessarily a feature that will be in Halo Infinite. In another intriguing piece of news, 343 community manager Brian Jarrod recently teased that he was in the office on a Saturday for a playtest. He's presumably referencing Halo Infinite, and if the team is working on the weekend, the studio might be gearing up for some kind of announcement soon. Halo Infinite is launching later this year, and there will be beta tests beforehand, so it's high time for Microsoft to finally show and say more about it. I don't get why tweets don't embed properly on my laptop. Like, that's fully embedded tweet in yours. I just get like a dodgy quote thing. Anyway, sorry if you're on the studio. If you're at the studio on a Saturday for a playtest, is it really work? Do you love? Do what you love, and it's never work. Halo Infinite is a launch title for Xbox Series X and any other next-gen Xbox consoles Microsoft may be working on, whilst it will also play on the regular Xbox One as well as PC.
Interesting. I didn't realise that they were going to be having a new studio. A new engine.
Slipspace engine. I love seeing things like that. I mean, the thing that particularly took my attention on that was the fact that designers can do a lot of the problem solving. Essentially, what they're kind of saying without saying it is, designers go, okay, I'm going to make something pretty. Ta-da! Yeah. And the developer goes, okay, I will make it work. Ta-da! And then you get, but now they're going, okay, well, we're making it something that we can speed up. So we want designers to be able to make their pretty thing, and we want to give them the tools to be able to actually put that, if not entirely into the game, but reasonably into the game, so they can see whether their stuff works. And that sort of agility will imagine for a game like Halo, which takes years. Yorkie Pud Party is now hosting. What a name! What
Thank you very much.
Name! I mean, if there's any party I want to get involved with, it's a Yorkie Pud Party. That is absolutely me. So yeah, if you can get more work out of people, that doesn't create more work for other people. Yeah. If one person can create a task and then finish it through to the end, in a game like Halo, which takes years and years and teams to be developed for multiple consoles, if one designer can go, okay, I can do this, boom, there you go, then it just becomes a lot more agile, and we'll start to see things moving faster, which is vital for the games industry, because games are only ever going to get bigger and better. I feel 343 really need to nail this Halo, or it could be the last we see from the franchise for a long while. New engine or not, says Next Gen Renegade.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like with the franchise they've got, Halo will sell regardless. Like, it doesn't matter if the game would be a bad game. I still feel like, for instance, someone like myself never played Halo Reach until it came out on PC purely because I didn't have an Xbox One. I've got the ability to be able to play that now. Halo, it's the same with Forza. Forza could be the worst game of that franchise, however it will still sell loads because it's a first party game, you know what I mean?
See, I was listening to Kind of Funny, and I don't know if it's Tim Gettys or maybe Gary Whitta. Someone was saying that they don't see Halo as having the prestige that it once had, which is kind of what maybe Craig's getting at there. And I see, as someone that hasn't played the Halo games and isn't invested, that no Halo game is really bringing me in. Although he did say something that kind of maybe says that Halo might have acknowledged that, or 343, in the fact that they've not gone Halo 6 or whatever it's going to be, because, oh great, another game in a series I've not played, by calling it Halo Infinite. They've kind of gone, oh, this is new, this is fresh, this is different. So whether that's Halo or whether that's the Microsoft ecosystem, and this might trigger all the fanboys, calm down, but like, PlayStation games sell consoles, and yeah, probably Halo can sell consoles. It probably does. But after Halo, like, Gears was a critical and commercial success, but not to the point of it didn't really go anywhere in terms of how many awards did it win at the Game Awards? Was it even nominated at the Game Awards or similar sort of things? And I don't know whether that's like a Halo issue or an Xbox issue in terms of their marketing and stuff. But yeah, Halo games in general, not Halo, Xbox games in general, when you compare them to PlayStation games, go on, fanboys, fight it out in the chat, do it. They're not there in the conversations with, is this the best game in the world? Is this a critical success in terms of, has it won all the awards? Yeah, it's got high praise and it's probably got a decent Metacritic score, but has it won everything? I mean, have any Halo games or Xbox first party games won awards that that the ones that we always throw out, the Spider-Mans, the God of Wars, the Horizons, and the Last of Us, and things like that, they've all won the awards. What was the Xbox equivalence of that?
I think the first 3 Halo games have won plenty of awards between them, but I'm going to be honest.
Recently.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest and say that I didn't play Halo 5. I don't think I played Halo 4 either, but I'm going to have the opportunity to be able to play them on my PC now. But I do enjoy a good Halo game. Even if it was bad, chance that I'm going to play it right through to the end anyway, just to say that I finished it. But it's in terms of Xbox, they've not got a lot to go for. Like they're just in terms of first party games, they've not got a lot to choose from.
I mean, you can play the Eliminator on Forza.
Yeah.
I mean, Battle Royale Motorsports. I mean, apparently it's pretty decent. But when it comes to I mean, Craig's comment there, it needs a Tomb Raider / God of War rejuvenation for me. And I think maybe Infinite could be that. One that doesn't keep the names, and for me the bit that they need to do is they kind of need to package it in that sort of way. The game could be incredible. I mean, Halo 4 and 5 were average at best. The franchise feels tired, says Craig as well. I mean, let's say they were decent. Let's say Reach. I mean, did that come after 5? I
have no idea on the timeline. I do enjoy the Halo games, but I have not got the absolute Halo lore behind me. I know up to ODST, that's about it, and then I didn't get an Xbox.
That's what you write on something when you've graffitied on the wall, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, if you're not from the UK or old, you probably won't know what IDST means. Anyway, so Halo 4 or 5 average, Halo Reach and ODST in there, Halo Infinite coming out. Is it this big game kind of thing? It probably is. It's a leading title at the launch of the next generation of Xbox consoles. You kind of feel it's up there, but I think what Xbox need to do and get in there is go, okay, it's not Halo 6. It's not the 6th iteration of a series that you're already not invested in. It's a Halo Infinite, but they need to kind of go out there and go, okay, I didn't play God of War 1, 2 or 3. I got 3, so it was a bit hack and slash it. Well, a lot of hack and slash it. Thought it's a bit not me, so didn't play it. I've got the new God of War, and I will play through that at some point, and I will because it looks, and I know that I don't have to have played the previous games, and that's kind of what they need to do with it. They need to go, okay, it's not a God of War reboot. Maybe they don't need to do that, but they need to put the message out there that you don't have to have the lore. You can come in at Infinite and just hit the ground running and then go with it. And I think that's the issue.
I think this is the first Halo game that's going to be bundled in and released at launch since Halo 1 and the original Xbox. I don't think the rest of the other Xbox, the rest of the Halo games have ever come out at a console launch. I could be wrong with Halo 3, but Halo 2 definitely didn't come out at launch because it was still in the original Xbox. Halo, and then the Halo 3, I'm sure, came out maybe a year later on the Xbox 360. So this is probably the first chance that they've had since 2000 and I want to say 1 that the original Xbox came out. That 19 years later. That they've got the opportunity to be able to bundle this in and say this is our launch title. It's gonna kick ass. If you are 10 years old and you never played a Halo game before, this is your first opportunity to be able to play this. You don't have to have the prestige or the love of the franchise because this is the first one that you're going to be playing. This is what you're going to get at Christmas. We hope you enjoy it, kind of thing.
I hope they nail the marketing for it to give someone like me who hasn't played it and has kind of missed it. I mean, I played the first couple of Halos briefly, and I saw like fluorescent green grass and stupid like space jumps, the stuff that I don't like in like Call of Duty games from 2 or 3 years ago. That's kind of been present in Halo from the beginning. That's what I don't like. So I never played any of the other ones following that. But if they market it in a good way leading up to it, I mean, you've got the birth of a new generation of consoles, a birth of Raymond tracing consoles and all the floppy terrors from around the world and other worlds, because you know it's space stuff. So if they can market, I'm not bothered about the teraflops. I'm not bothered about ray tracing. But show me good story, meaningful. I mean, a lot of the stuff around it, it's all, like that I've seen in the past. It's always been like loud, bombastic, and but what am I looking at? I know there's Master Chief. But is he the main character? Is he one of many characters? And yes, I know a lot of people will know that. There's a lot of people that play Halo, but for me, as someone that hasn't, I don't know. Like, I don't get enough of the story.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what it is. Like the whole marketing around Halo is it's almost preaching to the converted. The marketing, the teasers and stuff in there are for people that are already invested in it. But what is Master Chief? Is he a clone because he looks like everyone else? Is he a soldier? Is it me, or am I playing it as an avatar? Or I don't know. And I work in the games industry, so I'm closer than most people, and I don't know enough about Master Chief, which, I mean, shows a bit of my ignorance, but shows that it's not there for me to easily consume that information either.
Without offending anyone, it's kind of the same thing with Doom, though. Like, how many Doom games have we seen over the last 30 years where I couldn't tell you anything about the story, but I've played them all? Do you know what I mean? Like, when Doom Eternal comes out...
You've played literally every single game that's ever existed, ever. So that means nothing, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's the thing, though, with these kind of games, like... I get this is going to piss so many people off, but I kind of don't play Halo for the absolute storyline on there. I know I'm shooting shit in space, and the gameplay is good enough to keep my interest. Same with Doom, I know that I'm going to be shooting shit in space with loads of blood flying about and loads of flying shit coming at me.
Yeah, the thing is, though, Doom isn't Game of the Year material, and it's not up there. And shooting shit in space can be good. I mean, we've already started talking about Star Wars.
Doom is a AAA game.
Yeah, but it's not Game of the Year.
I think it will be in contention. I'm fairly certain the Doom 2016 was in contention for Game of the Year.
Didn't win it though, and that's the thing. It's close, and there's a big jump between close and winning it, and I'm not saying Halo's bad by any means at all. Clearly isn't. It's a leading title for a next generation thing. But I think that whole building, like, not necessarily the story in terms of a single player campaign, but what is it about? If it's just running and shooting and stuff like that, then like even Call of Duty is just running and shooting. You change space for desert or for World War II Germany or whatever. But they kind of, not necessarily the story of the characters, but the story of the experience. And I think just that jumping around in space stuff, it's too vague to the point where that crippled Call of Duty for 3 years, and they've kind of moved away from it. And I think once again, probably my own like lack of my own ignorance, really. I'm just kind of going, it's just jumpy space stuff. That blowing stuff in space, it's cool, but it's been done a million times. But what is it that gives me a bit more? I'm
going to go out on a limb here and say that fanboys, come at me, bro.
Get in.
But Halo 3 for me wasn't recognised for its amazing storyline and the way that the story went within that game. It was known for how well it played online. It was a Halo game which it seemed to be every man and his dog was playing at a given time. I think it was more recognised for its multiplayer gameplay rather than its storyline one.
That though, what I'm saying, I don't want single player story. I just said then it's not about the single player story, it's about the story behind it. That's a story. It's the best online experience you will ever get from a multiplayer game. Is Halo 4? Is 5? Is Infinite? And that's the point, is tell me what it is. If it is just jumping around shooting in space, what is it? It could be the best squad play with your mates, or I don't know, whatever their messaging is, but that's the thing, I don't know what their message. It's just Call of Duty in space, and I've got Call of Duty stuff which has been in space, so I think that's the thing. If
we need Wonder Boy's opinion on it, don't we?
Yes we do.
Get Harry on, see what he says.
Do you know what we should get him to dial in and just let him school us on.
Absolutely. I mean, it for me, it seems to be the only person that's streaming Halo every now and again. He's doing a series on it as we speak. So yeah, I think he'd probably be the best person to fill in the blanks that we clearly have on this kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I've got more blanks than a lot of people. Like I say, having only played a bit of multiplayer earlier on, which was enough to turn me off of the series. But yeah, my bit is, the messaging hasn't been enough to bring me back into the series, and that's a bit. Good morning, Griff. Is it still morning? It's still morning. Hi guys, how are you doing? Good morning. Anyway, let's jump forward. So, new engine for Halo Infinite, which will allow things to be bigger and better. See, that's good. We know they can do more and faster. Now, just give us the messaging of how we can do it, and then you may get ignorant people like me toddling back into the franchise. What we're looking at now.
This is when I clicked tabbed one off. This is the next one that came on.
Okay. Well, do you know what? I'll let Bibby have this one. Partially because I am going to have to get a drink.
Okay.
I've got dry mouth. There you go.
Thank you. Welcome to the Bibby Zone. Next Gen Renegade says, I think we've been waiting for a new Halo for years, and 3 was anticipated so much too. Brilliant game. Playing co-op with me is a big deal part of. Exactly. I do think we could change how Halo is with the new one that's coming out, but we've talked about enough Halo. We've been live for like nearly an hour and 40 minutes, and we've got through 3 stories. So we'll park that one until the next time. We'll go through this one on IGN. It says Resident Evil Tribute Daymare 1998 gets PS4, Xbox One, Switch, Xbox One release date. There was no mention of the Switch, I apologise. Survival Horror Showdown. This has been written by Chris Priestman. If you love survival horror games, especially ones that aren't either directly from or inspired by those made in the 90s, then April 2020 is the month for you. Daymare 1998 is coming to PS4 and Xbox One on April 28th, 2020 across North America and Europe. You might know that that's not too long after Resident Evil 3 Remake release date on April 3rd, 2020. Yep, you are being spoiled this April. The PS4 version of Daymare 1998 will be available both in physical and digital form, while the Xbox One version will only be available digitally. Daymare 1998 started out as a Resident Evil 2 Reborn when it was announced in July 2015. That was just a month before Capcom revealed its own Resident Evil 2 remake and forced Italian indie studio Invader Games to shut down its fan-made homage. But Invader wasn't deterred and instead started making its own third-person survival horror game that builds up the work already done by swapping out everything Resident Evil 2 had for its original ideas and names. Fast forward to September 2019 and Daymare 1998 was released for PC. As intended, it's pretty similar to Resident Evil 2, featuring a story through multiple characters' perspective, environmental puzzles, over-the-shoulder shooting and inventory management. You play as an elite soldier, a helicopter pilot, a forest ranger as they set out to investigate a deadly virus outbreak. Naturally, there were plenty of horrible creatures to shoot along the way. I'm stoked for this to be able to come out. I mean, I didn't finish the PC version of it, but I mean, I posted something on Twitter on Friday after you to say that we actually went to Gamescom last year and got to meet the developers and the social team. I think there was 5 or 6 people there that we ended up speaking to, and what a blast this game was to be able to play. Like, it was my first Gamescom, so being able to go behind the scenes, sitting down with people who have so much love and passion for games. It wasn't just stuff that they were just throwing out. This had so much love behind it. It was incredible, and the guys couldn't have been nicer as well.
I'll try and find the original one.
The one from Gamescom?
Yeah.
I have no idea. But yeah, this, when it comes out, I'm very surprised that they haven't got an Xbox One release coming out with it as well. That is odd. But it looks like they probably have done a Kickstarter at some point and managed to get the PS4 digital and physical versions backed. Oh, have you just sent it through Slack?
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring this back to this. So tab off. While I'm getting this, what did you think of the game? Because I know you were sat beside me speaking. Is it called Nicholas? I think it's called Nicholas.
Margaret.
Margaret.
Yeah, it was a good game. So let me give you my sort of input. I'm quite snobby when it comes to games. And not snobby, I'm simple. I don't like everything. I like the big, bad, bombastic AAA stuff, and I don't tend to venture into indie very often, which is nothing wrong with that. That's just what I enjoy. So if something is indie and it catches my attention, or not necessarily even indie, because you can get things like Tearaway made by Media Molecule, which obviously isn't really indie because it's owned by Sony, but like things that aren't big, bombastic sports or action, adventure or story games, that aren't made with all of the budget in the world. If it's not that, then it needs to be something special to catch my attention. And this was kind of one of those things. It caught my attention purely because I know some bumbling oaf that's very hype about it. When you know someone that's hype about something, you tend to get hype about it yourself. Yeah, go sports team. So yeah, we we rocked up at Invader Devs, which Invader are the developers that make the game. We rocked up at their booth at Gamescom, playing to have a session playing this game that I'd only known of by name. Bibby told me that he'd played through. Was it the demo you'd played through? Before we went, that's kind of all I knew about it. So I went in thinking, okay, it's gonna look like an old school game. And yeah, I'm not sure that will sell with me because that's not my kind of thing. Anyway, went in, it looked like an old school game. I thought, okay, it didn't have the facial mapping stuff that you'd expect in a new game. It didn't have all the brightness and the textures. The button and animation stuff was okay, but it wasn't polished to the level. So instantly, I'm going to think, okay, I'm not so sure. But you kind of forget that quite quickly because everything about it, all of the atmos, all of the menus and stuff, it's meant to give you that old school aesthetic about it. So that kind of like it doubled down on the old school feel, and that kind of worked for me. So watching Bibby play through, there was like some zombie. Are they zombies?
Yeah.
So there was some zombie bits, but then there was also some problem solving bits and stuff. And by we were in there half an hour. And quite like sunk into it by the end. So yeah, I thought it was a really good game. We sat down. We got to. I say we. Baby sat down and got to play through it. I sat there and got to be a cheerleader. You can do it. So let's jump over here. So this is a tweet post just after Gamescom last year. There's me and Pippi at the bottom. Look at that, all cuddled and stuff with the developers, but really good team, and I'm happy to see that they've gone through. So since Gamescom, they've launched the full game on PC, which is on the list of things for Ice Cream to play through, but there's just so many things to do. And then obviously after the success of that, either that's been so successful that they've been able to fund the PS4 launch, or they've had, like Bibby said, a Kickstarter thing, and they've got to the point where they can roll out a console launch too, which is big for them.
I know there was a massive uptake on people wanting it to be able to play on their home consoles. This was, like I said in the article, originally going to be a Resident Evil 2 remake that they was going to do as a fan, but obviously Capcom wanted to release their own Resident Evil 2 remake, so they kind of told them not to, so they've gone and made their own natural game. But since then they've gone over to Capcom and spoken with the devs behind there, and they seem to be really close with the Capcom Resident Evil team now, so they've kind of got an understanding, shall we say.
See, I love that. I love the fact that they've gone from community focused, we're gonna make an RPG like the Pokemon sort of, we're gonna give you what you want actually, so then being squashed, but then still had the passion to deliver their concept. But as it says in the article, rather than just doing remaking the Capcom stuff, they've put their own ideas and their own creative elements into characters and storylines and so on. They've decided to go to the next level, but then you've seen the like of Capcom, rather than just going, mate, actually we're doing it, so back the feck off. They've gone, actually, do you know what? Let's get involved. And the fact that they're working not together in essences, but the fact that they're allowed to exist in the same space is really good.
Well, that's this tweet kind of symbolises the whole thing. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Mr. Survival Horror himself, Shinji Mikami, the father of Resident Evil. Shinji is and was our greatest inspiration. Without him, there will be no Resident Evil and probably no Daymare. Thank you, Master, and for you all, we wish you a happy New Year. So this is when they went over to Japan earlier in the year. Late last year, November 11th, to go meet the Capcom development team, especially the godfather of survival horror, Mr. Shinji Mikami.
I mean, it's all nice and that, seeing Shinji Mikami there, but I mean, me and you did that 4-man pose way better. That's all I'm saying.
We didn't have a piece of paper in what looks like a ring-binded. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing the fact that these two can exist next to each other, and the daddy embracing the smaller studios and saying, you've got a great game, want you to come over and meet our team, kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's good that everyone can live in this kind of space, and especially for the people who absolutely adore these survival horror games. The more games we get like this for people like myself, and I'm sure Precision in the chat, he absolutely adores these kind of games too. It benefits everybody.
Yeah, I think we get this rolling out everywhere, because if we get more people playing games like this, then we get more chance to see Precision.
Precision.
Yes.
Yeah. 3, yeah. I was going to go for it. Damn it, you beat me to it.
Opoo 3! Opoo 3! Anyway. So, Daymare 1998 is coming to consoles. Make sure you get involved. And if you are interested in getting involved, please feel free to let us know, because we would like to know. You know what? Maybe we can drop in your streams if you're going to stream it. And if you're not going to stream it, just let us know your thoughts anyway. Anyway, moving ahead to...
whichever one you want.
That one, yes.
This one?
Yeah. Let's speed through the last 2 articles then. So Mafia 3's Mafia 3 devs' next game and 2K Silicon Valley's first project will be unveiled in the coming months, written by Sherif Saed for VG247. He says 2 of Take-Two studios have been working on unannounced games, which the publisher will be talking about more about this year. Take-Two published its earnings overnight for Q3 of fiscal year 2020 in a call with investors following the report. The publisher gave a little bit of an update on progress being made by its various studios. Hangar 13, the team behind Mafia 3, has been quietly working on a new project. As for what it is, Take-Two president Karl Slatoff wouldn't say, but he did confirm that we'll be hearing more about it in the coming months. New games.
Yeah.
Another project that we're also going to learn more about over the coming months is whatever 2K Silicon Valley has been cooking up. The studio, which does not have a name yet, and Take-Two even acknowledged that, is led by Sledgehammer co-founder Michael Condrey. It was only established a year ago, so it's great to hear the team has something to show this year. During the same call, Take-Two reiterated that the recently revealed Cloud Chamber studio is very early in development on a new Bioshock game, saying it's still years away. Elsewhere in the call, CEO Strauss Zelnick said he doesn't expect any more high-level departures at Rockstar after Dan Houser, adding that the studio culture has not been affected.
Interesting.
So yeah, I mean, I said the other day, I always find it like, maybe it's my ignorance to investing and that whole sort of part of the world, not the games world, but the world in general. But investor calls always feel a bit daft to me in terms of you have to answer to your investors. These are the people that are putting money into your company, so you have to answer to them to give them the information of what they're paying for. I get that, but the fact that happens in a public realm, so that you have to kind of like show some of your cards. This is my hand. There's a little bit of it, but not all of it. I always find quite bizarre. But it is the world we live in. So yeah, Hangar 13 that created Mafia 3, which as far as I remember, didn't...
I don't think it did that well.
Yeah, I remember
it wasn't that long afterwards that it came out that it was on PlayStation Plus as a free game. That's the only way that I played it.
Well, I remember seeing the stand at Gamescom, and it was massive. It was like, from what I remember, it was like a street... what time is it? Is it a modern day thing?
No, I'm sure it was like in the 50s.
Yeah, it was. In my mind, I've got like, do you know what, I might even have pictures of it on my phone. In my mind, it was like some big sort of cinema sort of street that you'd see on someone strolling down a boulevard in LA or whatever. I don't know if it was LA. But yeah, that's what I have in my head. Do you know what? Let's have a look. Let's do a search.
Mafia 3 received mixed or average reviews from critics. Critics praised the story, characters, dark themes, but criticised repetitive gameplay and the presence of numerous technical issues. I apologise.
He's burping at you.
Yep, every single time.
God damn it.
IGN give it 7.5 out of 10. PC Gamer give it 54 out of 100. Polygon 6 out of 10. Games Radar 3.5 stars. Giant Bomb 4 stars. Game Revolution 3.5 stars. 4 skins. Destructoid 5 out of 10. Yeah, so it's very, very middle of the road figures. Metacritic 62 out of 100.
So yeah, probably a game you'd enjoy. 6 out of 10, but not a game that's going to set your world on fire.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that said, I mean, the fact that the game looks as good as that does on that still there of the trailer, I'll bring that up on screen so you can see it. What I'm talking about. There we go. The fact that the game can look that good lets you know that obviously this is a game that was developed for the current, which will soon be last gen.
Talking heads.
Get out of here. Yeah. Giving them the power of RTX graphics cards or next gen consoles. Then yeah, we can expect decent things. The fact that we haven't heard anything about it yet makes me think it's going to be a next year game.
Yeah.
But
can't see it anytime soon.
I need more games, because I mean, we still haven't had Cyberpunk, and that's been floating around for like 2 years yet. I know it's kind of greedy when we've got so many big games launching in the next 3 or 4 months. But that's almost like even though they're not here now, that's almost like, okay, that's what you've got for your dinner, but what you're having for your tea. And then what you're having a little bit later on after that, you always want to know what your next meal's going to be before you've even eaten this one. And that's the thing. We've got the launch, we don't know what the consoles are yet. Not fully, we don't know what the games are. And I feel like we're just about on the edge of a pop. We're just going to get like, boom, Take-Two's got the game from Hangar 13 and whatever the Silicon Valley studio is working on something. That's only just been founded, but they're already working on something and almost ready to announce it. I just feel like
well, this came out in 2016, so I can't see a new game for them coming out this year in time for the new launch. So if we give that next year, that's 5 years after Mafia 3 has been released for them to be able to bring out a new game. Don't know how long they've had the new developer kit for the new consoles for, so yeah, I imagine if they are going to get a new game, it's going to be late next year from potentially a Mafia 4, if that's what we're going to get.
Trying to see if I've got any pictures of the stands for games. No, I've got loads of Pez pictures of Aubameyang and Kagawa. Just chilling out with Shinji. So yes. Anyway, let's move forward. We don't need to hang on that. There will be new games coming from Take-Two, including one from Mafia 3's dev and one from the new Silicon Valley team. Mafia 3's dev, but obviously Hangar 13. But jumping into a final bit of news for the day, GTA 5 and Red Dead 2 have sold over 150 million units combined. That's ridiculous. Written by Michael Beckwith for Metro.co.uk. He says, Take-Two's recent financial results reveal big sales numbers for its latest titles, Red Dead Redemption 2 and Borderlands 3. While Rockstar Games is still dealing with its co-founder's departure this coming March, Take-Two, which is the company's parent company, is currently enjoying the quite frankly massive sales of its most recent games. I always find it funny that we get reports like this, like stupidly big games selling loads, but then we also had that news article that was like, make more games. Yeah. Although Red Dead Redemption 2's initial PC release was rather rocky due to a number of technical issues, that and the game's Stadia release helped push sales from 26.5 million units shipped to 29 million, as confirmed by Take-Two during a call to investors.
2.5 million over 2 consoles. That's very odd for a game like this. So when it came out on PC, it moved from 26.5 to 29. So they only sold another 2.5 million copies over Stadia and PC. You'd think that that'll be a bit bigger. What do you think?
I'm just reading back over it again to make sure I fully ingested it.
So for me, how it reads was, it was 26.5 million until it came out on PC and Stadia, which then boosted it from 26.5 to 29. So that means that they've only sold an extra 2.5 million copies over the 2 consoles.
Yeah, it's just quite a weird paragraph. Although Red Dead Redemption 2's initial PC release was rather rocky due to a number of technical issues, that and the game's Stadia release helped push sales 26.5 million units shipped to 29. So the PC release and Stadia only adds 2.5 million.
Yeah.
Okay. A separate report from Superdata revealed that the digital sales of the game more than doubled from 406,000 to 1 million following its Steam release in December, since it was initially exclusive to the Rockstar Game Launcher and the Epic Game Store for a month. And because Take-Two loves big numbers, it also noted that Grand Theft Auto 5 has shipped over 120 million units in its lifetime. Combined with Red Dead Redemption 2's numbers, that makes over 150 million units sold worldwide.
Jesus Christ.
As for Gearbox's Borderlands 3, while it's kind of more of the same as its predecessor, that hasn't stopped it from selling nearly 8 million units since it was released in September.
Grand Theft Auto making Borderlands look like an indie game. It's mental, isn't it?
It's bizarre to see, like, when you think, I sold 8 million copies. Any other article, you'd be like, damn, like just absolute pogs. But then when you get like 150 million GTA, so they're going, 8 million ain't that cute.
Oh my god, it's like a snide Aldi version, isn't it, when he goes to stuff like that?
Borderlands. In fact, when compared to Borderlands 2, user growth has gone up by 50%. Look at that as well, 50% user growth, 8 million. Yeah, mate, it's less than a tenth of what we've
unlucky.
done. Its user growth has gone up by 50% within the same life cycle, and Take-Two fully expect lifetime unit sales to be a record for the franchise. With Borderlands 3 out on Stadia as well, we expect 4 more sales, says... oh no, it doesn't, that's what I've just added. With Borderlands 3 out on Stadia as well, and a Steam release coming at some point in the near future, that possibility seems very likely. Red Dead 2, GTA 5 and Borderlands 3 are available in places. Check out.
If you haven't heard of any of those, then you've clearly been living under a rock for 1,001 years, especially in Grand Theft Auto 5 situation. It's been out for 6 years now. 2015, I think it came out. In fact, I think it came out before that because it was on the Xbox 360. I need to Google that. Was it 2013 then?
I think it was. I'm fairly sure, but not 100%. Although there was, speaking about GTA 5, there was a news article that I didn't click on earlier on, which I'm kind of feeling like I should have done because we're ending on GTA 5 stuff. It was along the lines of, this is how crazy GTA 5 is, and it was like a fan video. Fans made trailer shows you how crazy GTA Online is now, and it was like GTA Online Diamond Magic Heists or whatever, and I thought, we've already got GTA 5, so leave it. But just,
17th of September 2013 when it originally came out. And they're doing bits. Oh, Phantom's in. Morning, Phantom. You alright?
Just started a court run on Far Cry 5 New Dawn. Looking good so far. Is he talking about us or is he talking about Far Cry 5?
I really liked Far Cry. I haven't played that yet.
Yeah, me neither. But then again, I haven't played any since the first one, Far Cry 4.
Really?
Yeah, not only because there's too many games, not enough time. Oh. It's the same thing with all the games. Instead, I'll just play PUBG for 27 hours. I play PUBG, and then I turn PUBG off to watch Phantom trolling people playing PUBG. If you haven't, by the way, Phantom SFX in the chat, feel free to check his channel out. If you're in the UK, feel free to check his channel out later on in the day because he's in the US. UK guy though, so yeah. But check out his channel out. He's trolling is next level.
Morning, Madge. Are you doing all right, buddy?
Good morning. How's things, Madge? How's the weather in your neck of the woods? I mean, I have to ask because I'm British and you're Scottish, and if you speak to someone that's in a different country, you got to ask. Yeah. You know, it's close but not close. It's snowing.
What time is it up there?
We're scheduled that for this afternoon. You know.
I know we are. Tomorrow is meant to be horrific.
Horrific.
You got to emphasise it because it makes it sound worse.
It's not horrific. It's horrific.
Yeah. It's pissing down all day. Great.
So yeah, 150 million units split between GTA 5 and Red Dead 2.
Whoa. We're not, Red Dead isn't even trying to claim that kind of amount. They've sold 30 million, right?
I love how they've done that though. It's just got, actually, between the pair of us,
30 bastards trying to shove it in there.
Facts, ladies and gentlemen, if you add all of the sales of video games from Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5 and Ice Cream uploads on Twitch, if you add all of those sales together, you get 150 million sold, ladies and gentlemen.
They tried to shoehorn it in there without anyone they won't suspect a thing. Chucking it in there.
How dirty have they done Borderlands though? Because they could have gone almost 160 million across all three, but instead they goes, we've done 150 million.
We'll try and shoehorn it in at the bottom.
And then Borderlands, they've only done 8.
But yeah, it's 120 million for Grand Theft Auto. That's outstanding. Like I cannot think of another game that's going to beat. I don't even think Grand Theft Auto 6 will beat that. I don't think their online game will get anywhere close to what GTA 5 is, especially as it's evolved over 7 years.
Yeah, the things there though is like GTA. I don't know. It came at the end of a console cycle, so it got a massive install base. And from the sounds of this, GTA is not going to come until the next console cycle. I mean, it could do. It could come on PS4 and Xbox One. It could do. Mm-hmm. But from the sounds that we've not heard anything yet, and the consoles are out this year. What they did last time was they launched their one version on all-gen consoles. Then they added PC. I think then they added next-gen, and then they added the PC stuff anyway. But they had it staggered, so they got everyone at different points.
Yeah.
Whereas, and they were all fully invested. The install bases were at the peak at the end of a generation. It's made to be magic. Whereas if you hit in the first year of PS5 and Xbox One, X1, 1, X1, 1, you do 1, you do 1.
0.
X. So if you launch in then okay, we know that we've sold, if you add Xbox and I think you've probably got about 150 million units in terms of consoles. Sold.
Yeah.
Well, a bit more than that, but not much more. So you split that by 7 years, and not that they all sell at the same rate. It slows down obviously as time goes on, but you've probably got 20 million install base as opposed to 150 million install base. The game just won't have the same level of success by default. You have to keep hitting with content. Throughout all that time, or are they going to be using our consoles? Maybe we might see PlayStation and Xbox scrabbling to be the one that has played first on PS4 or only on Xbox. I mean, not that it will only be, because there's no way. With
the new one potentially coming out next year, or whenever it decides to come out, would you put Grand Theft Auto now as a system seller?
Potentially, I could see that being the thing if.
Do you think people who are, I hate using the word, casual video game players who have just loved Grand Theft Auto, would you think they'd hold off buying their console until the new Grand Theft Auto comes out and continue playing this? I mean, 120 million people have been playing Grand Theft Auto over its lifespan.
Maybe. I mean, the content creators, there's channels out there that have built their following on GTA.
Yeah.
That play nothing but GTA, that have moved away and come back to GTA because that gives them everything that they need from it. They will probably drop out. Cartwheel Champ, thank you very much for the host. Absolute pleasure to have you here. Everyone joining from Cartwheel Champ stream, hope you've had a good time. What are you joining from? Because if you don't know, this is The Scoop. This is our daily dose of games news from the industry. So let us know. Lazarus the Greek says, guess what?
Is it playing is believing?
It is!
It absolutely is.
Pez, nice. Space Lad, good morning. 100% it's a system seller along with the likes of COD and FIFA. We're talking about is GTA 5, we're talking about GTA 5 sales at the moment, and we're now speculating towards GTA 6. If you are new here, by the way, please feel free to hit the follow button. We stream The Scoop each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. so you can get regular content. We do extra bits around it. Josie streams Tuesday and Wednesday. Bibby was playing PES 6 on the weekend.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, anyway, we're talking about. Now, we've moved on from GTA 5 sales to could GTA 6 sell consoles? And yes and no, I think yes, it could. But I'm not sure that Rockstar are the ones that are going to go, yeah, well, we've got ray tracing in. Yeah, we use all of the new graphics processing powers. And the SSD makes Liberty City, Vice City, whatever city, load so much faster. They're just going to go, here's a fucking sexy trailer, bam.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's going to be on Sony or Microsoft to go, okay, we need to not have it as our exclusive, but we need to get our branding on it. So like Jedi Fallen Order, you see that advert, there's an Xbox logo next to it. It's pretty much an Xbox first party title that's available everywhere because Xbox have gone, this is ours, look, this is my cool mate. So you kind of need to do that with GTA. And the one thing I wouldn't want to see, because I don't like that sort of shit, is someone like PlayStation going, yeah, well, we want a month exclusive to a mode, or even GTA Online, we want that first or whatever. I wouldn't want to see that, but if someone manages to get something like that wins the war. That's it.
I agree.
Rockstar still added DLC to GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. It's because they know how to play the game. I mean, it's all making money for them anyway, so money breeds money. But the content and the idea, I mean, it's not even the content as such. The world that they created in GTA Online, I don't think they would have ever expected the level of success they had. Anyone who played GTA 4 Online was just like, oh great, this is a bit pants.
I don't think I ever played online.
It's shit.
4.
The creating matches and trying to get people in, it was just fucking, it was horrible. Then GTA Online launched and it was laggy and stuff because the demand was just ridiculous. So I thought, oh, this is going to be crap too. And then about, obviously 2 weeks later, it's like, wow, this is actually...
It's all about the racing though.
Yeah. Hello there to everyone in the chat. One thing I did see, but I didn't pick up on is, there we go. Where's the mouse? There it is. Let's scroll back up. I feel we need to jump on his comment. GTA 6 announced for Christmas 2021, delayed until June 2022. Calling it. That's not the Magic Man comment though that I was looking for. It was, I'm doing good, cold but tea and toast here, and a shiny new affiliate to Twitch.
Things you love to see, Madge. Congratulations, pal.
Congratulations, Magic Man. But yes, that is it. You've all just toddled in here from Cartwheel Champ, who's given us that extra lovely raid. But we're going to disappear now, ladies and gentlemen. We have actually had one of the longest scoops that
nearly
we've ever
2
had.
hours.
Yeah, we usually do the scoop 10 a.m. each and every single weekday, live on Twitch.tv. Oh, wrong one. That's Game Frame. Again, that's the one we need. Live on Twitch. We usually go live at 10 a.m. and we bring you all of the news that we want to talk about in the games industry. We usually last for around an hour or so, but today, almost 2 hours. Man's got stamina, yo. He really doesn't. He really doesn't.
He doesn't. No. Definitely haven't. I've got tits.
But yes, feel free to hit follow. You'll get notified when we go live tomorrow. If you want to catch it all back, obviously watch the video on demand on Twitch. But we will upload it to our YouTube channel in around an hour or so. The full video will be there so you can see it on demand. And then we have 4 different audio podcasts too. Phantom says I'll watch the VOD. It's because you're a lovely man.
What a beautiful
Absolute
man.
ledge. Any news on new team additions for PES? Are you talking about in the Invitational? Is that what you're talking about? Because if you are, then we may have a trailer going out. Well, I say a trailer, a little bit of advertisement. We recorded a little bit of content live on the stream, so anyone that was in the stream earlier on would have seen it. We have a post just giving you a little bit of information about something that might be happening on Friday. If you want to see it, flick back through the stream. If not, just keep your eyes on our Twitter at Ice Cream Uploads and you'll see it there. Do you have the podcast on the teletext?
Unfortunately not. I mean, the next logical step is to put it on MySpace, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? that's the next one for us.
Do you mean it's not on my...
It's not on. It's in MySpace.
So who have we been sending all those pictures to? Damn it. Anyway, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We are done for the day. Obviously, you can follow us across all social media at Ice Cream Uploads. We go live 10 a.m. each and every single weekday. And I've mentioned we have audio and video podcasts too. But before we disappear, is there anything you want to add, Bibarino?
There is. To save me the job in the morning of getting news articles, if you do see anything knocking around on Twitter or any kind of social media that you use, do feel free to tag us at Ice Cream Uploads onto those. We'll pick them up, we'll get your opinions, we'll give you ours, and it'll be a fantastic show tomorrow.
Yeah. Just put our tags on there just in case you didn't know what we are. I'm at Graham_. He's at We've Got Bibinio.
Yes, I am, yo.
La, 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 la. Anyway, that is it. Have yourselves a very, very lovely day, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to disappear, but like I said, back at 10 a.m. One thing I will do, I'll hit the end slate and I'll leave it there. But if you do want us, because you've all just jumped in, if anyone has any recommendations of who we should go and raid, just let us know and we'll send you all over there. If you want to stick around for the raid, then that will be lovely. But have yourselves a very lovely day. And in the meantime, what have they got to do, babe?
Stay frosty!